Hi, welcome. It's time for another town hall and a campaign update by me, a presidential candidate, Susan Maud Buchser-Lochocki, or Susan Buchser for short, and I am still a candidate for president. The Electoral College votes have been casted, but they have not been announced yet. So we have to do that or wait until January 6th for the announcements. But anyways, welcome. So I am continuing to call for a ceasefire in the United States, of course, between our citizens. It's time to put down your weapons and start talking to each other. And then also I call for a ceasefire and an end to warring around the world. But since I am not running for president of the world, I cannot really control all of that. But I can certainly control where we send our money. And we don't have to be involved with these wars in other countries anymore. So I do call for a ceasefire all over the world. It's time to sit down to the table and negotiate peace. If we can imagine living with war, we can imagine living with peace, being peaceful. We're certainly doing a lot better than we were 100 years ago, but we're not quite there yet. So we have to consciously consider what it's like to live in peace and how to be peaceful with each other. And that also goes for U.S. citizens in the United States and any U.S. citizen living abroad. We can do it. It's time for peace. Especially during this holiday time. You know, it started in November. Lots of holidays were happening in different religions, and it's continuing now. In Christianity right now, we have Christmas, of course, and in other religions, in paganism and whatnot, it's the first time where you can noticeably see a change in the daylight during daytime. The days are starting to get longer already because just some days ago, back on the 21st, I think, or the 22nd of this month, was the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere of the planet. In the southern hemisphere, it turned to summer in the southern part, but we're in the north, or at least I'm in the north, and USA is in the north hemisphere, northern, so then we just changed to winter. And with that, a couple of days later, you can noticeably notice that the days are going to get longer now. And so that's what today celebrates. The days are getting longer. Spring is on its way, and summer, and all the other warmer seasons. So we made it through the halfway mark. Congratulations. And it's a time of celebration, of bringing people together, families celebrating life in general. Some are celebrating religious occasions, some are just together. But yes, it's that time. In a couple of days, we'll also be celebrating the new year. And then we'll start all over again and do one more year around the sun and see what that brings. I'm looking forward. So I would look even more forward if we weren't being so violent and territorial with each other and trying to dominate. So if we can work at getting rid of these concepts and think more together and helpful, then we could maybe bring some real change to the world and to our country. So, for all of the Christians out there, I wish you a Merry Christmas. And for all the pagans or atheists, I wish you a good return of the sun, a noticeable return of longer days. So, congratulations. Then, campaign update wise is I am still a candidate. The votes were done. We're in a waiting period, and I have just some ideas to keep us going at the moment. I don't have a lot of news. There's nothing really to report. I haven't heard back from my lawsuit, so that's still pending with the Supreme Court. And let's see if change is going to come. As you know, because in West Virginia, you have to be registered to vote to have your vote counted. They didn't count mine. I'm a U.S. citizen, and they didn't count it. So I don't know how many others in West Virginia didn't get counted, and I don't know how many other votes from U.S. citizens didn't get counted in other states. So, in my opinion, this is unacceptable. Every U.S. citizen vote needs to be counted. And the other thing I realized, too, is back in 22, West Virginia had no problem separating the write-in candidate votes when I was running for Congress. I got a list of all the different counties in West Virginia and how many votes I got. But running for president, for some reason, they don't list write-in candidate votes separately. This is a little suspicious to me. Why? What's the reasoning? Why can they do it when I'm a candidate for Congress but not for president? So this is kind of stupid. It's a dumb policy. Doesn't make sense. We need transparency in our election process, and it's what we don't have. And especially we don't have it for president. For president and vice presidential voting, we don't have transparency whatsoever in any state. And West Virginia is just one of them. So I need the Supreme Court to do their job and announce my lawsuit. And we need to have a new way of voting without hidden agendas and fake and manipulation of votes, because that's exactly what's gone on. In West Virginia, they're saying that Donald Trump won, but how many votes did they count that, or did not count, that were for other presidential candidates that they just threw out, like mine? It's not acceptable. It's actually treasonous. Shame on you, Secretary of State. Shame on you, Governor. It's treason. And the fact that it's going on is shocking to me. And people accept it. The citizens are taking this. It's not acceptable. So anyway, this is where we are. They need to change their ways and be more transparent. This is not acceptable. And my lawsuit will take care of it. I don't know how lawsuits work. I don't know how the Supreme Court works. But I guess we're finding out together. So this is where we are. They still have it. Then, yeah. Let's see what happens. I wish I had a good feeling about the new year, but I can't really sense what's going on. So, I'm trying to figure it out too, like you are, what's happening. All right. So, do I have more? I mean, election reform, that's one of my first priorities. And my to-do list I don't have with me right now, but I've gone over that before. And, separation of church and state we got to do because we've been taken over by the church and it's not acceptable. And then we can move on to other reforms. But election reform, 100%. Because unless we have good people in office, we have no chance at any change, any good change in the country. So, there we go. All right. I'm not having too much news right now, so I'm going to leave it like that. And I guess I'll see you Sunday at 3:30. I might do it earlier. I have to see, because I'm back in Europe right now, so I'm a little bit ahead of schedule for you guys. I have to see how my Sunday's going to be. But anyways, so I don't have a lot of news. I'm sorry, it's a boring one. And I'm just sort of saying the same thing. But, we still got a lot of people doing bad things, shooting and whatnot. And it's just time to stop it. We don't need it. We don't have to be like that. So, I wish you all a peaceful and friendship experience and camaraderie experience this holiday season. Season greetings and whatnot. We are all here together on the planet trying to get along, and it is possible. It's possible. All right. Again, my name is Susan Maud Buchser-Lochocki. I am a candidate for President of the United States, and I have a website if you want to find out more about me and my lawsuit. It's susan4usa.com. That's Susan, the number 4, usa.com. I will be talking on January 6th at the mall, the National Mall in Washington, D.C., near the Capitol building at around 1 p.m., 1:30, about my lawsuit and about the fact that because I'm not registered either, the West Virginia and several other states, they did not consider me as a candidate for president, even though other candidates saw me as president, as a presidential candidate. Other states did see me that way. So this is also unacceptable that states can put up other obstacles to block you from being a candidate for president, because as far as I know, there's only 3 things that you need to have or do to be president. One is you have to be over 35. The second one is you have to be a natural-born citizen. And number 4 is you have to have lived 14 years at some point of your life in the United States, in a state that is a United State. And I've answered yes to all of those questions, so there's no need to force me to be registered to vote so that I can be a candidate, a presidential candidate. I mean, there's no logic there. I had my passport. You weren't interested in it. I had my driver's license. You were barely interested in that. So, come on now. I don't need to be registered. You need to be interested in my passport. That's what you should have been interested in. So, stop the charade and making frivolous rules that don't have anything to do with reality. Okay, so go to my website and find out how I deal with this. And then check back on Sunday. I mean, right now, like I said, I don't have my lawsuit back, so it's still with the Supreme Court. Okay. I thank you very much for stopping by. And I wish you season greetings. Happy winter. Happy holidays. Bye for now.